Hi,
Hey everyone.
everybody. This is Sarah and Mark with Oak and Amethyst, and we want to talk to you about what's coming up at the shop this month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically this Saturday.
Yes,
Yes.
no.
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 I got it wrong. What are you
All
gonna
right.
do?
One thing we wanted to talk about was that at the end of the month, at the last Saturday, which is the 25th, we are going to be doing something just a little bit different than the typical. We were doing live streams where it was kind of like salesy, and we wanted to show you a lot of the crystals and things that we had for sale, and we want to change it up a little bit, and we're super excited to do
Yes.
our first podcast from our shop at Oak and Amethyst.
Podcast style. It'll be a little more intimate, just Sarah and I discussing a few different questions, maybe later on you asking us questions, exploring the metaphysical as well as the geological side of things.
Absolutely. And this is a little bit of a preview to the kind of things we're going to talk about on our podcast style streaming on Saturday, the 25th at
Yes.
7 p.m.
There we go.
So we are going to talk a little bit about some things that we're doing this month. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. So, would you like to go first?
No, you have a question for me, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, we've decided to show you the world of tarot readings, charm readings, and oracle readings. There's so much more out there than just those three, but these are three basic ones that are a good foundational spot. So
And that we offer at our shop.
it's true. We do offer these at our shop every Sunday from 11:30 to 4. We have a charm reader in the back. Her name is Slavara. She also does tarot and oracle readings.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with those three things, Sarah is going to explain them to you. So, I want to do my job.
Okay.
What is a charm reading?
Okay. This is one of the things that Slavara specifically specializes in. And what is really cool about it is that it feels very, very accurate. So, what she does is has a whole bowl of charms. And there are all kinds of different things, trinkets, even like acorn. I think I gave her a sea urchin spine one time to put in there.
Wonderful.
Things that she's found, things that she's come across that mean something to her. And she puts them in this whole bowl. And what you would do, hi, Tina.
Hi.
Thank you for tuning in from Australia.
Nice.
Wow.
Yay.
That's amazing.
Hi from the States.
But Slavara will put her hand into this bowl, or no, have you put your hand into this bowl because it's all about you. And you will kind of mix it around and grab a handful of charms, and you will drop them onto her cloth on the table. And what she will do is read the charms based on where they land, which is really fascinating because it's so different for everybody. She has bones in there. Like I said, acorns. She has a walnut window that we sell in our shop. She has silver charms and all kinds of different things that give her a little bit of intuition into your life based on how you drew them and how you dropped them onto this cloth. And I have always felt like when she is giving a charm reading, she does an incredible job of reading the charms,
for sure.
not necessarily based on you specifically, but on how they landed. And that shows you that she is paying attention to the symbols and not necessarily what you have already told her.
Exactly. She's reading the charms rather than the person.
Yes, absolutely. Which I feel like is very authentic, and it really gives you that intuitive feel.
Yeah, it's very accurate. I mean, it took us a long time to find her, but it is very accurate, and we've had nothing but positive feedback.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I remember is when I had my first reading with her, I was actually giving a presentation about crystal manifestation jars. And it was for her group. And so I was giving the presentation. But then when we finished up and we had a little bit of time left, she was like, well, I have my charms in the car. Would you like anybody want me to go get them and I can do a reading? And I was like, yes, I would love a reading. And so when she did it for me the very first time, I was blown away at how accurate it felt. And we had only had a few conversations in the past, nothing deep, nothing about, what I was going through personally. And so when she read it to me and I felt like it was very spot on, I went home and told Mark, I said, whenever we get our reading room ready in the shop, I would love to have her as a reader.
That's true.
And he understood and had gotten his reading as well and thought that they were really good.
Yeah, I get mine from her as well. I've never done her tarot or oracle, but I do have her cast charms for me occasionally. I think it's been 3 or 4 times at this point. It's always a wonderful experience, and we all have things we're curious about and directions we're headed, and she's always helped guide me through difficult moments, or at least enlighten the information in front of me.
Yes.
To make better decisions on where I'm heading.
Because I think one thing that we tend to do is we tend to shy away from things that are difficult in our life, or we don't want to really shine light on something that's bothering us. And one of the great things about charm, oracle, and tarot readings is that it will open up a doorway to something that maybe you have been trying to stuff away and not pay attention to. But when it opens up the light to it, it kind of brings you to this realization that, okay, it's time for me to open this part of myself up to whatever it is. So we've had a lot of people that have really felt like either she calls you out on something that you really need and they want to be called out on it, or they say, oh, well, I really needed to hear that, or I feel like it was really accurate for what I'm going through right now. And those are all great reflections for us to be able to know that she's doing an awesome job with the readings that she's doing in our shop. So if you love those kinds of things like readings, particularly charm readings, Slavara is your person. And again, she will be there every Sunday for the most part, from about 11:30 to 4. So you just come in, write your name down, and tell us how long you'd like to have your reading for. And usually she's pretty open.
Yeah. It just depends.
Yeah.
Every weekend is different, but yeah, her readings were always a catalyst of growth for me.
Yeah. So one of the other things that's interesting about that is that she is also doing a charm casting class on Sunday, this Sunday, so the
18th?
No, this Sunday.
This Sunday?
This Sunday. So the 12th. Yeah. So this Sunday, the 12th, she'll be doing a charm casting class. It costs $25 per person. She will give you a starter set of charms to begin your own casting journey so that you can do it for yourself or the people that you care about. And then she will also give you recommendations of other items that you can purchase at our shop while you're there to kind of beef up your charm bag before you get to take it home. And she will explore the symbolism of all of these charms with you so that you can get a good idea of how to do it yourself. And then you can take it home and practice, which is really cool.
A nice foundational class. So it's on Sunday
the 12th, and it is at 4:30. So definitely worth coming in and checking out and seeing if it's something that you would be interested in learning about.
Yeah, and it's at 4:30, but we're open that day till 4, so you feel free to come in early and browse around, peruse our wares. We carry metaphysical tools and crystals and carvings and herbs and wonderful things like that.
Absolutely. And it's about an hour and a half long. So just keep that in mind. Oh, hey, Damon. How's it going? You do know us.
Hey, you do know us.
Okay, so what was the next
What? Everyone's here.
All right, so what was the other thing that you wanted me to tell about tonight besides the charm casting?
I wanted to ask you about tarot.
Okay.
Because I've heard a lot about it, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I want to know more.
Well, you actually bought the first tarot deck, and then I stole it from you.
Yes, most people don't know that.
Yes, he bought a tarot deck, and I was like, I'm interested in that, and I basically took his deck from him. So I apologize.
They say you're
also
supposed
really
to
great.
gift the tarot deck. So, there.
Well, yes, it was gifted to me by me taking it without you knowing.
Nice.
All right. So anyway, I've had several tarot decks since then. Tarot is based on a specific deck that was created. I don't remember how long ago, but it was called the Rider-Waite, or you might hear one called Smith Rider-Waite.
Yeah.
It is the typical deck that has 78 cards, and it is full of all kinds of symbolism. And all the cards were drawn back when they first started, and it has a lot of really interesting, unique things in it that will help to kind of, again, uncover things that are going on in your life that you want to learn more about.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It has deep esoteric roots. It does go back to the Middle Ages. The original tarot decks originated then. It was kind of a combination of the suits of cards you're familiar with in the bicycle deck now and the Rider-Waite. And
yes,
if someone is familiar with tarot, they will tell you Rider-Waite is that traditional deck where everyone starts. There's also one called BOA, and both have a lot of esoteric wisdom hidden within them, but can be used to help reveal certain paths and certain directions that you can take.
so I will show you kind of the suits as you would find in the deck. So there are swords and pentacles and cups and wands.
Yeah.
And depending on the type of deck that you get, there may be different symbols that somebody had drawn or utilized because they were interpreting it in a different way. So just keep that in mind. If you get a deck that has, something, if it has coins instead of pentacles, then what they did is they just interpret it into a coin as opposed to a pentacle instead.
There are so many decks out there.
There's
where people have taken
so
them
many.
and turned them into something completely different. And so when you are exploring different decks, just know the Rider-Waite is a good place to start. You can get educated on that one and then translate that into whichever deck you prefer.
Yes. And it's really a personal preference. So if you don't want to start with the originals, that's fine too. You can always start with a different deck's source. Just know that the symbolism might be just a little bit different than some of the originals.
I heard there was a major and a minor arcana.
There is. Okay, so that also is something that has to do with the tarot. There is a minor arcana has to do with the cups, the swords, the wands, and the pentacles. Whereas the major arcana has to do with, if you've ever heard of like the Fool, this one is the Hanged One, or Hanged Man.
You say everyone starts in the position of the Fool, and there's a reason why it's right next to the Magician. Explore that one.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
There's a lot to go with it, that's for sure. Yeah, there's all kinds of different major arcana. It includes things like the High Priestess. You might get into the Hermit.
Yeah.
And they're just different.
The Sun, the Star.
the moon.
Temperance.
Yeah, judgment. There's all these different cards that have different meanings behind them.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to learn how to interpret them. And so when you're getting started and you're like, I am overwhelmed with tarot, don't be afraid to ask questions because I'm still learning quite a bit too. I cannot look at a card necessarily and be like, this is exactly what it means.
Well, that's
because
life,
it does take
right?
a lot of learning
It
and
does.
researching all of the symbolism. So just keep that in mind if you're beginning in this journey of tarot and oracle and charm and trying to do readings for yourself. Just remember, it's okay to look up
Every
all
time.
of the things. Most books, for example,
Most
this
decks.
is decks.
No worries.
Come with these little books, and it will have information about the different cards. And then there's also online sources. One of my favorite is thetarotguide.com, I believe.
There's some wonderful tarot apps as well. A lot of free resources, so don't feel like you have to pay for anything except your deck unless you're
Somebody
lucky
gives
enough
it to you.
Yeah, to have someone gift it to you. But
this is just an example of one.
We carry this one at the shop.
Yep, the Modern Witch Tarot deck.
Yeah.
This one we have had multiple times in the shop. I had skirted it for quite a while, and then I went to go buy a mystery deck and realized that one was meant for me.
Right.
So sometimes that happens. But that one has a lot of good modern interpretations, a lot of interesting, good diversity in the cards as well. So if that's something you're looking for, we love to carry the cards or the decks that have good diversity in them as well.
And it's just a slight variation of the Rider-Waite like we were talking about.
Yeah.
But I always suggest if you're getting started in tarot, start with the Rider-Waite and then buy a deck you like. And then you can just kind of compare and contrast. But it's ultimately up to you. And you can wait and have someone gift one to you.
Yes. All right. So
that was
that's tarot.
That was the charm casting. There's one more.
Okay. Now, there's something called an oracle deck. And this is the last version we're going to talk about. This is just, this is a new deck I just got. And this one is Believe in Your Own Magic. I really like the feminine interpretations in it. Again, it comes with a whole book that tells you how to interpret every card or gives you a good foundation. What I like about oracle cards is that it already tells you at the bottom, hola, hello, Spencer.
Welcome in. We're exploring oracle cards right now.
Let me get a good one here.
We've done charm casting. We've done tarot. Or tarot.
Okay.
Whichever you prefer. And now we're on to...
Here's a good example of an oracle card. This one is the Mirror. And this one says, treat your body like the palace it is. So say you're going through a lot of issues with, maybe you're looking in the mirror and you're just like, I just don't like how I feel today. If you pull this card and it just means, hey, just let that stuff go. Just remember that you are, the person that you're meant to be and there's nobody else like you.
So it's not like the tarot?
It's not like the tarot.
I thought it was very similar to the tarot. I don't have a lot of experience with the oracle.
The oracle already has a message at the bottom to help you kind of interpret your situation that you're going through during the day. What I like about some of these newer oracle decks is, again, we're looking at something that has a lot of diversity and a lot of modern, symbolism, which I think is really great. This one, for example, again, has the sun. So a similar, symbol as you would see in the tarot deck. But this one is just a little bit different. This one says, paint the sun back into your sky. So maybe you're going through a very difficult kind of period of depression or sadness. And it's just reminding you that you need to, bring some positivity back into your life. Go outside. Maybe it's specifically go outside and get some sunlight because you haven't been out today.
Vitamin D, right?
Yeah. So, but again, it has its own book that will help you interpret the cards as well. But if you're kind of a beginner in learning how to pull a card for yourself on a daily basis that feels like it's meant for you, these might be a good way to kind of start yourself out just because they already have the meaning there and the rest of the interpretation is in the book, which can help you out a little bit too.
So say I'm new.
Yes.
You're supposed to say I'm new.
I'm new.
No. So, which one of these would be the best place to start? Should I go get a reading from someone and maybe get their take on it? Should I go start assembling my own charms? Should I go run out and buy an oracle deck or a tarot deck?
Here's
Like,
what,
what's the best way to get started? I know
yeah.
you can come down this weekend and get started, but I want to get Sarah's take.
So I always let people know it's really a personal preference. And we tell people this when it comes to crystals as well. Really, how you get started is just however you feel like is best for you. If you feel like you need something simple, easy, pull a card once a day and just get a meaning out of it, you're going to go with something like an oracle deck just to get you started in learning to pull a card for yourself on a daily basis that has a good message for you that you feel like might be, a message from the universe. If you're really wanting to delve deep into something and you're interested in spending a lot of time looking at the symbolism and really devoting a lot of time and energy into learning what different cards represent for your life, and you want to really kind of devote several months into a new process, say like, I just really want to get into tarot. I know a lot about crystals. I feel like I've gotten a lot of use out of those, but I want to do something interesting and new. Tarot deck might be something a next step for you, where you can spend a lot of time and energy in it, and you can kind of devote several months to learning something totally new, and kind of intuitively pulling cards and learning by reading a lot more.
And it's steeped in ancient esoteric knowledge, so it's a deep rabbit hole, and it's very rewarding, if you actually take the time to deconstruct it, open it up, and try to listen to it. I like the tarot.
And just remember, this is at your own pace and your own timing. So just keep that in mind when it comes to any of these things. You are more than welcome to ask us any questions about them.
Yeah.
We may or may not be able to answer every question because, we pride ourselves in knowing a lot, but we don't necessarily consider ourselves experts in everything. But we do have a good relationship with some of these items.
That's true.
For our
we
shop.
make mistakes, though, just like anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our good days and our bad days, and we're only human. So we're not perfect. We're just trying to have this wonderful, authentic little community for Oak and Amethyst and bring you all along with us. So, with that being said, this weekend.
Come into our shop sometime. Friday we're open 11 to 6.
Yep.
Saturday open 11 to 6. And Sunday we're open 11 to 4.
The readings.
And we have those
The readings.
tarot and oracle readings on Sunday from 11 to 4. And we have the charm casting class at 4:30. It's $25 per person. That is on the 12th. So if that's something that is interesting to you, you want to learn how to do some charm casting, then you may do that. Erin said, I also done one of the charm classes myself, and it was extremely enjoyable, and she learned a lot. Slavar is an open book and even shows you how to do the charm reading yourself, which is very unique because she does it for a passion and not for profit, which is super engaging and makes it that much more personable. Definitely would recommend. So thank you, Erin, for adding that little bit, because that means a lot to the people who are like, what is this going to be like?
Yeah,
and
it's
am I
always
going
helpful.
to enjoy it?
Very much so. And so you mentioned the readings on Sunday from 11:30 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mentioned the charm casting class at 4:30.
Yes.
How would people sign up and pay for that?
Okay, so the way to sign up is you can either contact our phone number for the shop, which is...
The Oak and Amethyst phone number.
Yes, which Mark has always. So 463-283-2203. It's the number down at the bottom of the screen right now.
Yep.
You can also look us up on Google Maps or whatever and find our phone number there as well. But if you text that phone number, we can text you a payment link so that we can get you paid and on the list for the class. We have a max of about 10 people. So I would definitely recommend, if it's something that you're interested in, you want to bring a friend with you or a couple, go ahead and reserve some space because we may sell out the day of and then you may not get a chance. The last time we had a class, we had nobody signed up until, or maybe a couple people signed up the last week, but then the day of, all of a sudden we filled up and we had 10 people come in and take the class.
It
and that is
happens that way.
often what happens.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you go ahead and sign up if
Text
it's something
that number.
you really want.
I would say texting the number would be your best way to reserve a spot quickly, right?
Yes, like right now, if you wanted to text the number
Yeah.
and get a payment link to that particular class, we can do that now.
Yeah.
It's $26.75 when you add tax. So just keep that in mind. The other way is just to come into the shop this weekend. So come into the shop. Our physical store location address is right there.
Oak Amethyst.
Yep, Oak and Amethyst is located on Fairview Place in Greenwood. We're just right off of 135, across the street from the LA Fitness and Crew Car Wash. So you can just come into that little strip mall right there, and we are located in the corner. So come into the shop, and you can purchase a ticket there too if you would rather pay in person, which is fine as well.
And check out all of our cool crystals and metaphysical tools.
Yes, absolutely.
How could we forget? We didn't.
And check out the tarot and oracle decks that we have in our shop as well, because now you know how to use them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you guys, don't forget at the end of the month, Saturday, July 25th at 7 p.m. We're going to have our first podcast.
Live stream. So a live podcast.
You can ask us questions in person. We should be on all of the platforms.
Okay, yeah. We'll try to answer your questions, but I think we're going to be kicking around some of our own questions as well. But we'll try to answer yours.
Oh, but if you have questions, please feel free to text or text the number too. If you have a question you want us to answer on the podcast, that'd be fine too.
Yeah, if I can keep up with it.
Yeah, so you could text the shop at this number. You can also call the shop. If you text, Mark tends to get back a little bit better just because sometimes we're busy with her daughter or whatever.
We do have an 8-year-old, so I try my best.
But texting sometimes can be easier. So, yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our little, mini podcast today. We hope that we answered some interesting questions about tarot, oracle, and charm readings.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you guys at the end of the month and maybe this weekend for our charm casting class.
Yes, we're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, 11 to 6, Saturday, 11 to 6, and Sunday, 11 to 4.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, yeah. Bye.